What if I told you that the most powerful problem solver in your entire house costs less than a bus ticket, hides behind the flower in your cupboard, and can help a curious child ace a science project, a stressed parent clean the oven, and a grandparent soothe aching feet, all before bedtime? Keep watching, because by the end of this video, you'll be itching to grab that humble orange box of baking soda and try at least one new trick tonight. And the final tip might become your family's favorite story for years to come. Before we dive into the fun, let's meet our star. Baking soda's real name is sodium bicarbonate, a gentle alkaline powder that fizzes when it touches an acid like lemon juice or vinegar. That fizz is simply carbon dioxide gas escaping, and those tiny bubbles are what lift pancakes, loosen burnt food, and power the classic school science volcano. Because the reaction is safe, cheap, and easy to control, people around the world have trusted baking soda for nearly 2 centuries. Think of baking soda as 3 things in one: a mild abrasive that can scrub without scratching, an odor sponge that traps smelly molecules, and a pH balancer that calms excess acid. With just those superpowers, it can wear more hats than any other pantry item you own. And the best part is that every age group can use it differently. So, we'll travel through a typical household, from the youngest hands to the wisest, collecting stories, hacks, and a few caution flags along the way. Let's start in the playroom with the kids. Imagine 8-year-old Maya, who just spilled juice on her favorite stuffed rabbit. Her mom mixes a tablespoon of baking soda with warm water, dips a cloth, and dabs the stain. The gentle grit lifts the sticky sugar without fading the pink fur. Later that afternoon, Maya builds a papier-mâché volcano for homework. 2 spoons of baking soda in the crater, a squeeze of colored vinegar, and boom, an eruption that wins extra credit and a proud grin. Kids also bring home mysterious odors. Drop 2 teaspoons of baking soda into the bottom of a lunchbox, shake, and leave it open overnight. By morning, the tuna smell is gone. Sneakers that reek after soccer practice? Sprinkle baking soda inside, tap the soles, and let them sit while everyone sleeps. In the morning, dump the powder out and enjoy shoes that smell like new. These simple rituals teach children that science isn't just a textbook, it's a friend that makes life nicer. Teenagers face different battles, especially the war on pimples and oily hair. A dermatologist-approved emergency trick is to mix 1 part baking soda with 3 parts water, dot the paste on a single blemish for 60 seconds, and rinse. The alkalinity soaks up excess oil and flattens redness. For hair weighed down by styling gel, dissolve a teaspoon of baking soda in a cup of warm water, pour it over wet hair, massage, and rinse before shampoo. Product buildup disappears, and shine returns for tomorrow's selfies. Now picture college student Leo living in a cramped apartment with 2 roommates and a mountain of dirty dishes. Last night's chili has welded itself to the pot. Leo covers the burnt bottom with water, sprinkles a thick layer of baking soda, and walks away to answer emails. When he returns, the carbon layer wipes off with a sponge. No harsh chemicals, no wasted elbow grease. He tosses the sponge into a sink of hot water, plus another spoon of baking soda to deodorize it too. Baking soda also rescues tight budgets. Instead of buying pricey produce washes, students can rinse apples and cucumbers in a bowl of water mixed with a teaspoon of baking soda. Researchers at the University of Massachusetts found this removes more pesticide residue than plain water. Coffee lovers plagued by acid reflux can stir 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda into a mug of black coffee. The flavor barely changes, but the pH rises enough to calm a sensitive stomach. Let's jump to the 30s and 40s crowd, juggling careers, children, and a home that never seems fully clean. Saturday morning chores begin with the oven window, clouded by months of roasted dinners. Spread a paste of baking soda and water on the glass. Leave it while you tackle laundry, then wipe clean. A 2024 consumer test showed this method cuts grease by 88% without scratching tempered glass. The same paste brightens grimy grout between bathroom tiles. Speaking of laundry, families generate mountains of it. Adding half a cup of baking soda to each load raises the water's pH, helping detergent lift dirt so you can wash in cold water and save energy. It also softens hard water minerals, reducing the need for fabric softener. Tossing sweaty gym clothes into a pre-soak of warm water and 2 tablespoons of baking soda neutralizes odor molecules before they even hit the washer. Parents packing lunches can keep vegetables vibrant. Blanch broccoli in boiling water with a pinch of baking soda. The alkaline environment preserves chlorophyll, so the florets stay bright green and kids are more likely to eat them. If the house pet has an accident on the carpet, blot the spot, sprinkle a generous layer of baking soda, mist lightly with water, wait 30 minutes, and vacuum. The smell and stain lift together, sparing you an expensive cleaning bill. Gardeners in midlife appreciate baking soda's outdoor talents. Tomatoes often grow in soil that is too acidic, leading to tangy fruit. Sprinkling a light ring of baking soda around the base of each plant every 3 weeks gently raises the pH, and field trials in Florida recorded an 11% sugar increase in the harvest. A solution of 1 tablespoon baking soda, 1 tablespoon vegetable oil, and a gallon of water sprayed on roses' wards off black spot fungus without commercial fungicides. If ants march across the patio, mix equal parts baking soda and powdered sugar and pour it along their trail. The sugar lures them. The baking soda reacts with their digestive acids, and the colony fades away. No toxic sprays near kids or pets. For clogged drains, pour a cup of baking soda down the pipe. Chase it with a cup of hot vinegar. Wait 10 minutes, then flush with boiling water. Grease and soap scum dissolve, and pipes run free. Now let's visit grandparents, whose hands may ache from arthritis, and whose skin can be thin and sensitive. Heavy scrub brushes are painful, so cleaning becomes simpler with baking soda. Dust it on a damp cloth and glide it over the bathtub. The mild grit removes soap scum with almost no pressure. Dentures soak safely in a glass of warm water and a teaspoon of baking soda overnight, loosening food particles and neutralizing odor without harsh tablets. Many seniors take medications that leave a metallic taste. A mouth rinse of half a teaspoon of baking soda in half a cup of water balances oral pH and freshens breath. Supportive shoes can trap moisture and bacteria, causing foot odor. A nightly foot bath, warm water plus 3 tablespoons of baking soda, soothes tired muscles, softens calluses, and discourages odor-causing germs. After gardening, aching knees benefit from a baking soda compress. Dissolve 2 tablespoons in a bowl of warm water, soak a cloth, and drape it over the joint for 10 minutes. One of the sweetest senior stories comes from Mr. O'Donnell, age 78, who loved roses but dreaded mildew. His granddaughter handed him a jar of baking soda and the garden spray recipe. A month later, he beamed beside bushes heavy with spotless blooms and joked that he'd spent more on fancy coffee than on the cure. His success shows that low-cost, low-toxicity solutions can be even more satisfying than store-bought ones. Health remedies deserve a careful spotlight. For occasional heartburn, dissolving half a teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water neutralizes stomach acid and brings quick relief, though doctors warn that frequent heartburn should be checked by a professional. A lukewarm bath with half a cup of baking soda calms itchy skin from rashes or insect bites. Dermatologists explain that the alkaline water reduces irritation signals in nerve endings. Even minor urinary tract discomfort can feel better after a gentle rinse of water and baking soda. Baking soda also polishes smiles. The American Dental Association confirms that using a baking soda toothpaste or sprinkling a pinch onto your regular paste once a week safely removes surface stains. Overdoing it can wear enamel, so moderation is key. For mouth ulcers, a dab of baking soda paste shrinks pain and speeds healing. If you wear a night guard, soak it in water with a teaspoon of baking soda each morning to banish odor-causing bacteria. Cooking tricks cross every generation. Tough cuts of meat tenderize faster when marinated with a tiny pinch of baking soda. The alkaline environment breaks down proteins. Dried beans soften in less time if you add half a teaspoon of baking soda to the soaking water. When boiling potatoes, a pinch of baking soda roughens the surface starch, helping them crisp in the oven for perfect roasties. A dash in pancake batter makes fluffier stacks even if you forgot buttermilk. In the pantry, baking soda doubles as a fire extinguisher for small grease flames. Throwing a handful at the base of the fire releases carbon dioxide and smothers the flames, buying precious seconds to turn off heat and reach safety. In the fridge, an open box absorbs odors, but here's a pro tip. Write today's date on the box and replace it every 30 days. The old powder can go straight into your drain cleanout or laundry booster. Families who love crafts can turn rainy afternoons into mini chemistry labs. Homemade bath bombs mix 1 part citric acid, 2 parts baking soda, a little cornstarch, and a splash of essential oil. Pack into molds, dry, and drop into the tub for a fizzy spa treat. Kids can inflate balloons by tipping baking soda from a spoon into a soda bottle filled with vinegar. The balloon captures the carbon dioxide and teaches gas expansion principles better than any lecture. Let's talk about the environment and the wallet. One 450-gram box of baking soda often costs less than a single latte, yet replaces multiple plastic bottles of cleaners, deodorizers, and sprays. Its production footprint is smaller than many synthetic chemicals, and when you rinse it down the drain, it breaks into water, sodium, and carbon dioxide, elements nature already understands. Using baking soda means fewer harsh fragrances and less packaging waste, which benefits every generation that will inherit the planet. Of course, even heroes have limits. Baking soda can scratch very delicate surfaces like high-gloss car paint or some aluminum cookware, so always test a hidden spot first. It should not be mixed with strong store-bought cleaners containing ammonia or bleach, because the reactions can neutralize cleaning power or create unwanted compounds. People on low-sodium diets or with kidney issues should talk to their doctor before using it regularly as an antacid, because it adds sodium to the bloodstream. Storage matters too. Baking soda loves to soak up odors, which is great for fridges but bad for baking. Keep 1 box labeled cleaning and another labeled cooking. Store the cooking box in a sealed jar away from spices so your chocolate cake doesn't taste like onions. To test potency, spoon a little into vinegar. A strong fizz means it's still good for baking. If the fizz is weak, demote it to cleaning duty. At this point, you might be wondering, how do I remember all these tips? The secret is to build small rituals. Every Sunday night, sprinkle baking soda in the bottom of the kitchen trash can before putting in a new liner. Every first of the month, swap the fridge box and mark the calendar. After each haircut, rinse combs and brushes in warm water with a teaspoon of baking soda to remove oil and styling residue. Tiny habits lock big benefits. Stories make habits stick, so here's one more. A friend of mine, Sarah, hosts huge family dinners. One Thanksgiving, the dishwasher broke and greasy roasting pans stacked up. She mixed a thick baking soda paste, spread it over the pans, and went to bed exhausted. Morning came, and the grease slid off under warm water. Her teenage son, impressed, asked why they ever bought expensive cleaners. That single crisis turned the whole family into lifelong baking soda fans. Another neighbor, college athlete Marcus, struggled with smelly gym bags. He tried scented sprays, but they only masked odors. I suggested taping a coffee filter filled with baking soda inside the bag. 2 days later, Marcus texted, "Bag smells like nothing. Miracle." He now keeps a shaker of baking soda in his locker and sprinkles it into sweaty shoes after every practice. He swears it saved him from buying new sneakers mid-season. Grandma Lou, age 84, lives alone and worries about slipping in the shower while scrubbing. We set up a weekly routine. She fills a spray bottle with warm water, adds 2 teaspoons of baking soda, shakes, and sprays the tub. After 5 minutes, she wipes with a soft cloth, no bending, no harsh fumes. Her bathroom sparkles, and she feels independent. Empowerment at any age is priceless, and sometimes it starts with a spoonful of powder. Let's recap lightning fast so the information sticks. Baking soda deodorizes backpacks, trash cans, refrigerators, carpets, and sneakers. It cleans ovens, stovetops, sinks, grout, and drains. It freshens laundry, softens hard water, tenderizes meat, sweetens tomatoes, and saves roses from fungus. It soothes heartburn, calms itchy skin, polishes teeth, and relaxes sore muscles. It fuels science experiments, homemade bath bombs, and emergency fire control. One product, endless jobs, friendly to kids, parents, and grandparents alike. Some viewers love a peek behind the curtain, so here's a quick history detour. In 1846, 2 enterprising brothers-in-law in New York, John Dwight and Dr. Austin Church, began pounding sodium bicarbonate crystals with wooden hammers and packing the powder into paper bags. They sold it as sal aeratus, Latin for aerated salt, and American bakers went wild because it freed them from unreliable sourdough starters. The company later became the Arm & Hammer brand, whose muscular logo still flexes on supermarket shelves today. Geologists will tell you that natural baking soda forms in ancient lake beds where salty water evaporated, leaving behind a mineral called nacolite. Modern manufacturers either mine these deposits or produce sodium bicarbonate by bubbling carbon dioxide through soda ash, which itself can come from limestone. In both cases, the energy cost is lower than synthesizing many liquid detergents, which means when you choose baking soda, you're voting for a lighter environmental footprint. Let's swing back to childhood for a moment. If you're a parent desperate for screen-free entertainment, try Cloud Dough. 8 parts flour to 1 part baking soda, plus a few tablespoons of oil. The mixture feels silky, molds like wet sand, and vacuums up easily when playtime ends. Add a drop of food coloring for pastel shades, or hide small plastic dinosaurs inside, and let kids excavate like paleontologists. The bicarbonate keeps the dough fresh longer than flour alone. Another rainy day marvel is Safe Slime. Mix 1 cup of white school glue with 1 tablespoon of baking soda, then add a splash of contact lens solution that contains boric acid. Stir, and within seconds you have stretchy, bouncy slime that doesn't stick aggressively to furniture. The baking soda helps control pH, making the polymer chains link together without turning the mixture into gluey soup. Kids learn chemistry through touch, and parents breathe easier. Teens experimenting with personal style can even craft homemade deodorant. 2 tablespoons coconut oil, 1 tablespoon shea butter, 2 tablespoons cornstarch, and 1 tablespoon baking soda melted together, cooled, and poured into an empty stick. The baking soda neutralizes odor, the cornstarch absorbs sweat, and the butters glide smoothly. Sensitive skin? Cut the baking soda in half and add a few drops of soothing chamomile oil. It's budget-friendly, customizable, and free of the aluminum salts found in some commercial brands. Young adults battling the Sunday scaries can upgrade self-care with a spa night face mask. Mash half a ripe banana with a teaspoon of baking soda and a drizzle of honey. Smooth the paste onto clean skin, wait 10 minutes, and rinse with warm water. The banana provides potassium, the honey draws moisture, and the baking soda sweeps away dull surface cells. The result is a glow that costs pennies and uses ingredients already on hand. Apartment dwellers often struggle with lingering cooking smells because ventilation is poor. Simmer a pot of water with 2 tablespoons of baking soda and a few lemon peels. The vapor drifts through rooms, absorbing airborne odors instead of just masking them with perfume. Add a cinnamon stick in winter for cozy holiday vibes. It's the stovetop version of those pricey odor-eating candles, but the ingredients probably sat in your kitchen all along. Let's bulk up the cleaning arsenal. Stainless steel sinks lose their shine after a week of dishes. Sprinkle baking soda generously. Drizzle a splash of white vinegar. And watch the foam lift coffee rings and tomato sauce stains. Scrub lightly with the soft side of a sponge, rinse and buff with a microfiber cloth. The sink gleams like chrome, and there's no chemical smell. For faucets crusted with lime, wrap a paper towel soaked in vinegar around the neck. Wait 15 minutes, then sprinkle baking soda on a brush and scrub. Mineral crusts crumble. Tile floors with greasy footprints can be dangerous, especially for seniors. Dissolve half a cup of baking soda in a bucket of warm water with a squirt of mild dish soap. Mop as usual. The solution cuts grease but leaves no slippery residue, reducing fall risk. If grout lines still look dingy, sprinkle dry baking soda along the seams. Spritz with hydrogen peroxide. Wait 5 minutes, and scrub with an old toothbrush. The fizzing action penetrates pores that a mop can't reach. Car lovers, this one's for you. Road salt and bug splatter can etch paint if ignored. Make a gentle scrub. 2 tablespoons baking soda, 1 tablespoon dish soap, and a quart of warm water. Use a soft cloth to wipe affected areas, then rinse thoroughly. For cloudy headlights, a thicker paste of baking soda and water rubbed in circles removes oxidation haze. Rinse and dry, and you'll notice brighter beams on your next night drive. Baking soda even follows you on camping trips. A pinch in a canteen of river water, after proper filtration, raises the pH slightly, improving taste and aiding digestion for those with sensitive stomachs. Sprinkle it on a campfire cooking pan to scrub off soot with minimal water, crucial when supplies are limited. And if a bee sting interrupts the hike, a moist paste of baking soda spread on the spot can neutralize venom acids and reduce swelling until you return to base. Middle-aged athletes nursing muscle soreness can turn to a time-tested hack used by professional swimmers. Add 5 teaspoons of baking soda to a liter of water. Chill and sip slowly 90 minutes before intense exercise. Studies suggest it buffers lactic acid, delaying fatigue. The taste is salty alkaline, so chase it with juice if needed. Always consult a doctor first, but many endurance athletes swear by the protocol for occasional events. Let's help the gardeners again. Powdery mildew loves zucchini leaves. Dissolve 1 tablespoon baking soda and 1/4 teaspoon liquid soap in a gallon of water. Spray weekly, and mildew retreats. Houseplants plagued by fungus gnats benefit when you dust the topsoil with baking soda. Larvae dislike the alkaline environment. Compost piles that smell like rotten eggs can be sweetened with a light sprinkle, balancing excess acidity and accelerating decomposition. Silver jewelry tarnished from years in a drawer can look brand new with a baking soda bath. Line a bowl with aluminum foil, shiny side up, add hot water, 1 tablespoon baking soda, and 1 tablespoon salt. Drop in the jewelry so it touches the foil. In minutes, sulfur tarnish migrates to the foil through an electrochemical reaction, and your necklace shines without harsh polish. Rinse, dry, and wear to dinner that same evening. Let's not forget pets. Dogs sometimes roll in mystery odors that cling even after shampoo. Rubbing a handful of dry baking soda through the coat before a second rinse helps neutralize the smell. For litter boxes, mix a cup of baking soda with the litter to trap ammonia odors, making life nicer for both cats and humans. Guinea pig cages and bird cages can also benefit from a thin layer under bedding. Seniors managing chronic medications often worry about drug interactions, so here's clarity. Topical or cleaning uses of baking soda have no effect on prescriptions. Oral ingestion, however, introduces sodium, which can raise blood pressure. If you're taking diuretics, lithium, or have kidney disease, limit baking soda antacid doses and ask a physician first. Knowledge is power, and a quick chat with a healthcare provider keeps a helpful habit from becoming a risk. Let's bust a myth. Baking soda is not the same as baking powder. Baking powder contains baking soda plus a dry acid such as cream of tartar. If a recipe calls for one and you only have the other, you can improvise by adding your own acid, 1/4 teaspoon of lemon juice or vinegar for every 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, to mimic single-acting baking powder. Remember this hack the next time midnight cookie cravings strike. Some viewers ask whether baking soda kills germs. On its own, it doesn't disinfect like bleach or alcohol, but it does lift dirt where germs hide, and it can disrupt bacterial cell walls slightly in high concentrations. For surfaces that need real sanitizing, like cutting boards used for raw chicken, wash with soap, scrub with baking soda to remove grease, then finish with a disinfectant. Think of baking soda as the cleaning crew that preps the stage for the germ-killing star. People also wonder about drain fresheners. Here's a monthly ritual. Pour half a cup of baking soda down the kitchen sink, add 10 drops of essential oil, peppermint deader's mice, and chase with a cup of hot vinegar. Foam erupts, carrying grease off pipe walls. Wait 5 minutes, then run hot water for a full minute. The pipes stay clear, and the kitchen smells like a spa instead of last night's curry. If you knit or sew, baking soda can rescue musty fabric from thrift store finds. Fill a basin with warm water, dissolve half a cup of baking soda, and soak the fabric for an hour. Rinse and line dry in the sun. Odors vanish and fibers feel softer. Quilters sometimes sprinkle a thin layer over stored quilts to prevent mildew during humid summers, shaking it out before display season. Finally, let's add a mental health twist. Psychologists note that small acts of agency, like fixing a problem with tools you already own, boost confidence and reduce stress. Each time you use baking soda to conquer a stain or calm heartburn, you send your brain a message: I can solve this. Over weeks and months, those micro-victories stack up, creating a mindset of resourcefulness that spills into other life challenges. A teaspoon of powder becomes a spoonful of self-belief. Advanced DIY enthusiasts can craft a scouring stone that rivals commercial products. Mix 1 cup of baking soda, half a cup of fine table salt, 2 tablespoons of liquid Castile soap, and just enough water to form a stiff dough. Press the mixture into a silicone muffin cup and let it dry for 48 hours. Pop it out, and you have a solid puck that scrubs cookware, shower doors, and even barbecue grills. Because the ingredients are food safe, you don't have to worry about chemical residues near your next meal. Long-term storage is easy when you remember one rule. Keep baking soda dry. Pour fresh powder into a wide-mouth glass jar. Drop in a moisture-absorbing silica packet from an old vitamin bottle and screw the lid tight. Label the jar with the date. Every 6 months, perform the fizz test. Half a teaspoon of baking soda into a tablespoon of vinegar. Vigorous bubbles mean the powder is still potent for baking. Weak fizz means it's time to downgrade the jar to cleaning duty and open a new one for cooking. Let's close with a final story that ties every generation together. Last summer, my family held a reunion picnic. The toddlers used baking soda sidewalk paint. Just baking soda, cornstarch, and colored water to draw rainbows on the driveway. Teen cousins launched plastic rockets powered by baking soda and vinegar. Parents grilled burgers, then cleaned the charred grate with a baking soda paste. Grandparents ended the night soaking tired feet in warm baking soda baths while we swapped memories. One humble ingredient created joy, learning, cleanliness, and comfort for 4 generations in a single afternoon. That's the quiet magic waiting in your cupboard right now. So here's your gentle nudge. Pick an age-friendly idea from today's tour. Maybe the cloud dough for your kids, the laundry booster for your own schedule, or the rose spray for a grandparent who loves flowers. Set out a spoon, a small bowl, and that magic powder tonight. Action beats intention, and tiny experiments turn into lifelong habits. Drop a comment with your results, share a new twist you invented, and together we'll keep adding chapters to the legend of baking soda, the penny price hero that never stops giving. If this video saved you $1, a minute, or a headache, tap like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the next everyday science secret. Share the link with a friend who still thinks baking soda is only for cookies, and let's spread the magic of this tiny, mighty powder. Thanks for watching. Happy experimenting. And remember, big solutions can live in the